Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be talking about this shoe right here, the PUMA Deviate NITRO Elite 3. Now that the 4 has come out, this is on sale on Start Fitness. Using code 40runs, you can get this shoe for £135 or £140 depending on the colorway, and then you can add shipping on top of that, but that is insane value for this shoe. And yeah, we're going to talk about why. I just set a 10k PB in this on the weekend and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, let's get into having a chat about this shoe. I'm not going to go over any specs or anything for this shoe. The shoe's been out for a while, so there's tons of videos probably floating around with specs and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just going to talk about how it felt and compare it to some other shoes that I've raced in and you may have raced in, so you can kind of get an idea of whether you would like it or not. Firstly, I'll let you know my current PBs, which are somewhere on the screen now. I'll pop them on there so you can see the paces that I run. And I'll also let you know I'm about 6'3" and weigh around 80 kilos at the moment, but I hover between 77 and 80. And with that being said, let's get into chatting about this shoe and we'll go over kind of how much running I've actually done in this shoe. It's not much. So I first got the shoe the Friday before my race, and I was going to go with the Metaspeed Sky. If you've seen my previous videos, you'd know about this, but I decided to take this out late on Saturday evening and do some strides in it, just to see if I wanted to run in it. It was a tough decision because I liked it, but I still wasn't sure about it because I hadn't done any more than maybe 800 meters of running in it total. So I did a little bit of a warm up, some strides, and then a little bit of a jog back home. But talking to a few people, they just said the Puma's a better option. And I thought this was a little bit firmer, snappier than the Metaspeed Sky. And I thought that would be better over the shorter distance in the 10K. And I thought that would help towards the end of the 10K as well. And I think I was right, and I'll kind of talk about why as we go over the shoe. But it was definitely a good decision to go with this, and this is my favorite racing shoe that I've ever worn, and that's no questions. My favorite before was this Adios Pro 3, but I think the geometry of this just suits me and my strides so much better, and I really do enjoy this. The Adios Pro 3 I've taken to the marathon distance, but I'm not sure if I could take this to the marathon distance, but I'm definitely willing to give it a try, whether that's just on some long runs or the race that I've got planned in April. I could be trying this one out. So yeah, but enough about that. Let's talk about the shoe. The upper, it just reminds me, I did a lot of racing and running in the Vaporfly 2, and it reminds me a lot of that. The fit, the tongue, and I used to love the fit of that. And I think it is a lot better than the upper on the Adios Pro 3, which I get along fine with, but it isn't the most comfortable upper as far as racing shoes go. And I feel like this kind of fits nicely and it's quite comfortable. Heel collar's quite nice as well. So really good upper, lightweight material. It's a little bit plasticky, but you don't notice that when it's on, and it feels super nice. And the midsole this is the reason I love this shoe. Because I am slightly taller, slightly heavier runner, I enjoy a firmer foam. And that is why I've loved this Adios Pro 3 so much. I just enjoy the firm sink then bounce that you get from the firmer foam. I've loved it since I got these shoes, and I've set all my PBs in the Adios Pro 3, which this foam I find is very similar, but the rocker starts a lot further back in the shoe. So I feel like I'm getting more of I land midfoot, I'm getting more of a roll through and bounce, whereas I feel like in the Adios Pro 3, you're landing on a big chunk of foam here, but then the rocker starts a bit later on. So I just feel like it's not as smooth and it's not as natural to run in for me personally. I don't know if that would be the same for you or other people's mechanics. But for me, the firmer foam with this kind of rocker with a bit further back and being able to roll through just felt amazing. And having that coupled with a bit firmer foam towards the end of the 10K, I felt like I had a bit more snap and a bit more pop in my step, which was great. I have a half marathon in March, which is the Inverness half, and I am probably going to take this one onto the start line and give it a good go over the half marathon. I might try and get some long runs in before that in this shoe just to see what it's like running for a bit longer period of time. Running for my PB time is under 40 minutes. So yeah, that's not a lot of time in the shoe to get a good idea of whether it'll be good for a marathon or not. So I would like to take this to like a half marathon and see how it goes. But in terms of speed, it feels great. So I think as a 5K, 10K racer for slightly heavier runners, maybe kind of my build or heavier, I think it could be a great shoe, and it's insane value for 135 or 140 pounds here in the UK, and you'll get a decent lifetime out of it as well with this kind of thick Puma grip. I think that'll hold up for quite some time, especially for me. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll know my shoes do last quite a long time. So I think I could get a lot of miles out of this race shoe. So to sum it up, it's a little bit of a firmer foam compared to like Zoom X or like the new Lightstrike Pro, which is going a bit softer, or the Asics Leap foam now. The way it works with this rocker, I think a lot of people are going to love it, especially people around kind of my weight and up, I think will really enjoy it for racing. It also does feel pretty light on foot. It's not the heaviest shoe, but it's also not the lightest compared to like the Asics, but it's definitely light. And now that this one holds my 10K PB, I'm looking forward to trying to get maybe a 5K PB and a half marathon PB in this, and then we'll see if it's any good for the marathon, and hopefully I can maybe get that sub 3 in this one, and maybe I'll retire this one to just a long run shoe because I'm going to try and limit the amount I run in these, or maybe I'll try and pick up another fresh pair and then I'll be able to use these for workouts and some long runs and keep another fresh pair. But that's kind of it for the video. I just wanted to go over my thoughts while they were in my head. Let me know if you've run in the shoe or if you're thinking about picking it up. Ask any questions in the comments. I'm sure I've missed a lot of things in this video. So yeah, more than welcome just to drop a comment. I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. But highly recommend this shoe, especially for the price. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe and come on this running journey with me, documenting my training for the Edinburgh Marathon in May. So yeah, would love for you to come along the ride, and hopefully we can get that sub 3 this year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.